Happy New Week, everyone. I hope you're all doing fine and well. Yes, and I do hope you enjoy your weekend. So, before we get straight into the technical, as you can see, we have a lot to discuss on DXY today. But before we talk about DXY at all, let's talk a little bit about a few fundamentals. Okay, and we're going to start with the fundamental news that we have this week. All right. So, as you can see today, Monday, the 10th of March 2025, there's no fundamental, any high impact or medium impact fundamentals today. So Jot's job opening that was supposed to be released last week, it was postponed. And you can see right here the market is forecasting an increment of 110,000 new job openings. So we're going to see how that is going to impact the market today. On Wednesday, we have the Chinese New Year new loans. Okay, we also have ECB President Lagarde's speech. And then the major highlight of this week is the CPIs and the US PPI data coming on Wednesday and Thursday, respectively. Okay, you can see we have the core CPI month on month, CPI month on month, and CPI year on year. All right, so we have that. And on the same Wednesday by 2:45 p.m., we have the Canadian dollar interest rate data coming in with another reduction of 25 basis points. Okay, so they are cutting their interest rate by 25 basis points following ECB with what they did last week. So, and you all know what happened to ECB rate cut last week. You know, we had an hawkish rate cut because after cutting the rate, what happened to the market? The market went up, Europe went up. But even prior to that time, euro has been going up because of the Germany, very, very interesting economic situation. So that's more like it. I have to share about that because of our time. So as you can, Bank of Canada press conference also follow up after the overnight rate and rate statement has been made. So, and then on top of it, we have the core PPI month to month, and the normal usual initial jobless claim on Thursday this week. And after that, on Friday, we're going to be everything will be wrapped up by the GDP month on month in the United Kingdom, which is expected to drop by 0.3%. We're going to see how that is going to impact GU and GJ and the rest. And then by 3 p.m., we have the preliminary University of Michigan consumer sentiment. Okay, so we're going to see how that goes as well. So that's more like all the fundamentals that we have this week. Looking at the US economic heat map right here, you can see everything is looking quite tasteful. Why do I say that? The economic growth, which is the GDP, the manufacturing PMIs, and the service PMI, are quite very strong right now. You can see the GDP is at 2.3%. We have the manufacturing PMI at 50.3 points, and then we have the service PMI at 53.5 points, which is not bad at all. In my opinion, it's not bad. The inflation is still pretty sticky, but by the end of this week, we're going to see what the impact is going to be on the market. And yes, you can see right here, the market is still expecting a calming CPI. Right, you can see the CPI, the core CPI is expected to drop by 0.1%. The CPI month on month is expected to drop by 0.2%, and the yearly CPI is expected to drop by 0.1%. So we're expecting a cooling CPI. All right, so I just have to come back here just to show you that this is what we are expecting as far as CPI is concerned. So now moving on, CPI is very sticky right now, but the market is forecasting an eased up CPI. We're going to see how that goes. We have the PCE, which is also part of the inflationary data that came quite expected, just as forecasted, but it's pretty low to previous. Okay, so we have like a seemingly eased up PCE as regard the data that was released last week. Now about the job data, which is the wage growth, the unemployment rate, and the initial jobless claim that came last week was pretty good. Okay, we had a really good wage growth. Okay, even though it dropped by 0.1%, but at the same time, it's still pretty good at 4%. Unemployment rate go increase by 1%, which is not very good for dollar as a currency and as an economy. But when you look at it in an economic point of view, 4.1 is still very stable. All right. And then we have initial jobless claim coming at 22.1K, which is, 221K, which is not bad also at the same time. So just job opening came pretty bad. And then the last job opening that was released last month, the new one will be coming tomorrow. And the ADP that came this month was pretty bad, was pretty low compared to previous, which at the same time doesn't really look super crazy, in my opinion. So non-farm payroll was just a mildly lower than expected by 9,000. So that is not super bad, but it's not very impressive as well. And at the same time, you see that on Friday, dollar pair didn't really make that much of a crazy move. It was more like easing to what has been happening since Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And on Friday, movement was quite calm and easy. When we get to the chart, we're going to talk about that. So that's more like all the current economic data in the United States. If you take a look at the UK economic heat map as well, you see that right here, the UK economy seems to be boosting up gradually. All right, in my opinion, the GDP growth, and the growth generally, the economic growth generally, talking about the GDP growth, manufacturing and service PMIs, they're not super good. All right. Excuse me. The GDP growth is below 1%, which is not very good. The manufacturing PMI is below 50, which is not good at all. But the service PMI is above 50, which is very interesting. On the other hand, the inflation looks pretty good. Retail sales is high. Inflation is 3%, which is very normal, and PPI is below 1%, which is not very good. Okay, so they have a deflated economy as regard the wholesales, but the retail is quite high. So that is still can be construed as a very manageable inflation. And unemployment, the job data was very good, 4.4% unemployment rate, and even got reduced by 0.1%. And then from previous, okay, I mean from what was forecasted, excuse me, and then the employment got increased by 71,000 last month. That was very good. So this is a very interesting um, economy for the United Kingdom, and I'm not surprised because you can see what has been happening to the euro pairs. You can see they've been going up, even though right now I'm shorting euro Aussie. Okay, just from the top right there, I think it's been overly stretched, and I'm trading it based on DCA system. All right, so I've not really had time to explain this strategy. Okay, but you can always check Google and check YouTube to get the full part of it. Well, I trade it in a whole different way. So that's that. And to avoid all our time, possibly for my students, I'll just take a screenshot of all of this. We have the Canadian dollar, the Canada economic heat map, we have the Australian economic heat map, and let me take a look at the Japan economic heat map because I have so many trades that are heavily loaded on Japanese yen right now. So first up, we have the GDP growth at 0.7 is below 1%, so probably not super good. When we compare it to forecast, it is a very good one. All right, the manufacturing PMI is also not very, very decent, it's below 50, and the service PMI looks really good. So we have a good service PMI, a very manageable GDP growth compared to previous and compared to like 4 quarters. You know that this current GDP in Japan was really, really good. And then we have the retail sales. If you look at the inflationary data overall, we have the retail sales at 3.9%, that's very good. We have the CPI at 4%, that's good for the currency. PPI at 4.2%, that's good for the currency. And 2.7% for PCE, that's also very good. They are high, all right? They are high when it comes to the economy, but this is exactly where the Bank of Japan wants to see the economy. This is where they need to see it. This is exactly where it needs to be. So that's why I said it's good for the economy. It's bad for the economy because things are getting more expensive. But at the end of the day, this is where they want to see it. So it's a whole different show when you compare it with the likes of dollar and the impact of this to the currency. But at the end of the day, this is exactly where they want to see it. They don't want to see negative data again. They want to see a booming economy that people are now buying stuff that would literally cause inflation. You understand? It's just like someone that is pretty sick. I'm not saying Japan economy is sick, but this is a scenario. It's just like someone that is very sick that has not been eating. Okay? It's like someone that is very sick that has not been eating. So you're negative, the person is getting thinner and lean, and you are praying so much that God, I just need this person to hit. I need this person to hit. And all of a sudden, he's requesting for banana, he's requesting for this, he's requesting for that. He's the one that wants to eat burger. And it's not like he wants a crave for it. You're giving it to him or he's eating it. Okay? So everything, just start eating everything, just packing everything in. This is exactly what's happening to Japanese right now. They want it and it's happening. So to the general view of the world, it's bad. Okay, the way we are taught in economic class, but right now it's what is needed. Okay, so that's just the analogy of the whole thing. And then we have the unemployment rate right here. Okay, the job data, we have unemployment at 2.5%, which is pretty good. And employed person actually got increased by another 50, which is not bad at all. So overall, Japanese yen economy seems to be very stable in my personal opinion. So that's it. Let's go and look at the top setup right here, where before we jump to the technical part of the show. So we have gold at the top here, still with a score of 11, which is still very bullish. Pound dollar also with a score of 10, which is still very bullish. Silver with a score of 9, which is still very bullish. Euro dollar with a score of 8, which is bullish. Pound Aussie with a score of 8, which is bullish. Euro Aussie with a score of 8, which is bullish. Mind you, I'm currently counter trending this Euro Aussie. I'm counter trending the trade. I'm shorting it. Okay, I've been selling it since Friday when it got to that very crazy high. I started shorting it. So just so you know, Euro New Zealand, Euro Kiwi bullish with a score of 6, and the rest of it go like that. But I'm pretty interested in gold, pound dollar, silver, euro dollar, and euro Aussie right now. Those are the one I'm looking forward to share with you as my top setup and the rest. But I'm still going to take a look and touch all these ones if time permits me. But just sit tight and let's enjoy the show. Let's enjoy the show. And yeah, dollar ZAR, which is dollar South African rands, okay, bearish with score of 5. Aussie Swiss, bearish with score of -5, excuse me. Russell, bearish with score of -5. Aussie Kiwi, bearish with score of -6. And then we're back to my yen pairs, CAD yen with score of -7. Kiwi yen with score of -8. Dollar yen with score of -9, which is very bearish. And Aussie yen with score of -10, which is very bearish. You can see right here, Swiss yen. The Swiss yen is nowhere to be found anymore, and that's more like it. You can also see that pound yen. Okay, pound yen is also nowhere to be found anymore. Which other one? Euro yen also is nowhere to be found. Okay, euro yen is also nowhere to be found. Which are pairs I'm still holding short on. I'm still holding short on pound yen, but it's just a very small short like that. And that's more like it. Okay, I have card yen. I have card yen, I have Kiwi yen, I have dollar yen, I have Aussie yen still open. I just opened this Aussie yen yesterday before I slept when the market opened on Sunday. So that's when I joined this one. So let's see how this goes overall. I would have loved to talk about the COT data we see, but let me just look at yen, pound, euro, and Aussie. Okay, yen, pound, euro, and dollar. Excuse me. So looking at yen economic COT filing right here, which was filed on Friday, you can see they opened a new long position of 12,000 and they closed the short contract in 25,000. They closed their short contract and they opened their long contract. That's telling you a story. Follow it. Okay, telling you a story. Let's follow it together. So institutions are still packing up a lot of yen. They're packing up so much on yen. This pound right here, what's happening to pound? I think pound got super increased with the long contracts and the short contract got really closed out. So which really boosts the net position to around 18,057. Okay, right? They increased the long contract by 77 key, and they reduced the short contract by this number. I don't want to call the number out; it's very weird. And then let's take a look at euro. All right, you can see right here on euro, the same thing is happening. Same thing that happened to pound happened to euro as well. There's a pack of long contracts that was open, and a bit of short contract was closed. Right here, you can see the same thing for pound. Over 7,000 in long contract and over 6,000 in short contract were closed. Okay, so pay close attention to that. Now look at dollar right here at the very bottom. Okay, take a look at the dollar right here at the very bottom. You can see what's going on, right? There's a bit of long contract that was open and a bit of short contract was also open. So the institutions are not closing their long contract just about yet. But when you look at the weekly net change, you can see that the portion of the short contract that was open was a bit higher compared to the long contract that was open. So we're getting a reduction in their long position and increment in their short positions. So they're easing up on holding dollar because of all the tariffs drama, all the tariff saga and everything. So follow the story, all right, fundamental story. So taking a look, I've really spent a lot of time. So let's take a look at the technical part. We've painted a very good picture. You can see the institutions are still leaning. So they are not leaving the dollar yen alone. I mean the dollar currency as the world currency or as the same even asset. They're not leaving it alone just yet. But at the end of the day, they're also not super packing up into it. They're not really jumping into it like that. So we have to pay close attention to what we have right in front of us. So personally, before I can say anything or look into taking any trade on pound on dollar or dollar pair right now, I'll first love to see a nice and decent pullback to retesting this trend line at least, or coming back to this region right here before I start looking for further short or sell off, probably back to 103 or back to maybe 100 as the case would be right at the bottom here. All right, so that's my plan on dollar right now. But I think this is bound to get corrected for sure. Okay, you can see something like this happen here also, and it was bound to correct, and it corrected like 50% of it. Is right here. Okay, so it's bound to get corrected. You can be rest assured of that. But when it's going to correct and when it will really be over, that's what nobody really knows. But at the end of the day, we're going to watch, we're going to sit and enjoy the show together. This is my UJ short trade. I'm still holding on to it, although it's been a bit of a roller coaster, but so far so good. It's been pretty fun. My trading stock has been adjusted back to this region, so we're going to see how it goes moving forward. Aussie yen it's another trade that I'm shorting, okay, which I took yesterday, like I said, yesterday when the market opened around here. It's a little bit of a drawdown right now, but I'm not super certain about the Aussie strength, okay. And if you look at the COT filing on Australian dollar, okay, you will see that the short position that was open is way higher than the long position. You can see that they opened over 4,000 new long position right here. And you can see right here, they opened also a pretty wide short contract as well. So that kind of like cooperating still that this was 65% short position and 34% long position. So at the end of the day, still have higher short positions than the long ones. But I'll still say all this pretty bearish. If that permits me, like I said, I'm going to share the heat map for all the Australian dollar, the economic heat map for the Australian and Canadian dollar. So in my personal opinion, and you can see that on the top setup on H final as well, we have Australian dollar with reading of -10 and it's very bearish. So Australian dollar, I'm holding on to it this short. It's still very young, very new. My stop loss is right at the top here. We're going to see how this goes moving forward. CAD JPY is another trade I've been holding for since last week. As a matter of fact, since like 2 weeks ago. Okay, it's been a very, very long way coming. All right, but I'm looking forward to see how this actually plays out. Maybe it's going to come down here, or maybe this is the beginning of what of a massive, massive dump like I've been expecting for a very long time. Look at this. Okay, this is the full picture of this trade, guys. This is the full picture right here. You can see my ultimate target is right below here. Okay, I want it to come all the way down here. So that would be the plan. But right now, what's happening is what's happening is really the fact that this particular level right here is acting up. It's acting as a big board. Okay, and let's see if it's really strong enough to act as a big board. I don't have any problem as for a level acting as a big board. For a support level trying to keep the price from falling further, I like that. You know, I'm a support resistance level. I'm a support and resistance level kind of trader. Okay, I respect all this level. But at some point, I know they always get broken, they always get violated, and sometimes they are brutally violated, like the way this one was brutally violated right here. And sometimes they kind of just hold up pretty well, all right? Like the way this one kind of like held up right here before it actually got violated eventually. So something like, and this one also, you can see the way it held up pretty nicely, okay? Before now it get violated. So sometimes they held up pretty nicely, sometimes they get violated, but it is what it is. We're going to see how this is going to play out at the end of the day. So the next play I'm holding is this Swiss yen, the CHF Swiss yen also is very, very tedious right now. Okay, it's pretty tedious. And we look at the COT file, the new filings for Swiss, you will see that there are new long positions that were open. That's where the story starts changing. The new long positions were open and we have over 1,000 short contracts that was closed. So that is something we need to pay close attention to. But I'm not super sure if these are bigger impacts than the position of the yen. So we're gonna have to pay close attention to that. But at the end of the day, I'm still winning that short trade on Swiss yen. Okay, I'm still winning that short trade on Swiss yen. As long as it stays below this region right here, okay, I'm gonna hold on to my short trade. If it break above here, then the story will change. But technically and possibly fundamentally as well. So I'll probably start looking for my opportunity. For Swiss yen, I'm holding on to it for now. Okay, on the short term. Euro yen also, I just kind of like took this one because of this particular region right here. Okay, I was broken retested multiple times. So let's see if this is going to break it to the downside again, or maybe just going to pass it upside and then tap me out again. But for it to if it stay below here, inside this box, I will look into shorts. Anything above here, above this 166 region or level right there, I'll possibly look forward to that opportunity and target the top right here. That's my plan of euro yen. All right, so let's keep a close eye on that one. Don't forget the euro dollar. The euro currency is pretty strong right now, so you have to take it very slow and steady as regard that. Kiwi yen, another one that I'm still holding a short trade on. I took it last week. It ran pretty well on Friday before the NFP, and after the NFP, it just seems to like just eased up. Okay, it just felt like easing up. And I don't blame it. All right, I don't blame all these currencies. They've really been extended. Okay, they've really been extended all the way to the downside. So it's just normal for us to see a little bit of a fight around there from the seller, because some people have been buying, some people bought here, some people are buying from here. So it's just very normal to see some fight from the buyers, which one way or the other, either they actually won or see the currency go back up, or they get beaten again. Like they've been beaten here, they've been beaten here. So maybe they're gonna get beaten again and the market will just go further. But we'll see how it goes. But as for me, I trading stuff already and it's up there. So I'm quite protected. I know they've been extended, extremely extended. So I'm expecting stuff like this. But at the same time, I can't go against this very interesting trend. Okay, it's it's an obvious trend. So moving on to the next one, which is silver. So silver is another very interesting trade I took last week. I took a buy, and my stop loss is slightly placed. My trailing stop is slightly placed below here. So you're getting a pullback right now. I don't know how long this is going to go. If it's going to tap me out again. I've been tapped out on silver trade for like a very long time. Okay, but we're going to have to see how this goes in general. But I have high hopes for this trade myself. So let's see if this is going to be a very good one or it's just going to be another very, very uncool one. All right, but I'm still within the buy trade. Lastly, see, WTI closed me out in a nice and decent profit around this level. So I'm out of this WTI trade US oil. I'm gonna have to wait to see how this goes. Don't forget we are yet to see it on the China. And if at that is all, it's still is reading a bunch of when you check no, this right here. When you check the economic, when you check the X finder, you see that US oil is reading a very delicate. It has a very delicate score, all right, which I will be sharing with you later. But in my personal opinion, I still want to sell. I still want to sell WTI all the way to the ground, all the way to the ground, all the way back to 30, all the way back to 50. But Donald Trump is still highly elated on his plan to increase the domestic supply of oil. He just want to pump oil so much. Okay, he just want to pump oil. So yes, I think I have something to look into today. Like you can see, crude oil outlook. Trump calling the shot. Okay, Trump is literally what literally calling the shot right here. The oil market has been flipped on its head since when Trump returned to office. The benchmark WTI crude oil is now struggling to stay above $65 per barrel after it had zipped up to $80 in mid-January. Okay, in the wake of former President Biden's decision to tighten sanctions on Russia crude exports. However, it's clear that Trump broadening, albeit as haphazard, trade war has abruptly altered the global oil demand and supply picture, raising the prospect of the market being stuck with the growing surplus. Don't what? Growing surplus. That is the highlight of WTI right now. A growing surplus. Like I said, Trump wants what? Trump wants oil to be extremely pumped in the United States. And what I wanted to show you earlier about oil is that you can see the delicate number at -4. Okay, that's a delicate number right there, -4. The last COT filing was 64% long and 33% net short. Okay, which is still not very bad. You see how the retail trader also they're like 3% buying, 7% are shorting, which I love to go against the number of buyers right here, just provided that the market is ready to take me alongside them. So let's just see how this goes in general. Okay, this really make a lot of sense if everything works just as planned. Okay, so that's that. So what is the plan? You're asking me. I'll wait for the market to break below this particular structure right here. Break below a pullback, and I'll look for further short. Okay, all the way downside. Okay, so that's the plan. But I want to see this particular region getting destroyed successfully, and then that will lead me into the trade properly. And also this time around, since we already have -4 right here, I would love to see it come all the way down to probably -8 or thereabout, so I can get a very bearish reading on Edge Finder. So just a quick recap on my top sorter before I wrap this video up. So first off, on gold, I would still love to see a deeper pullback before I start looking for buy on gold. In my opinion, right? I would still love to see a deeper pullback on gold before I wrap things up. I mean, before I start looking for buy opportunity. But right now, it seems like it's still quite steady at the top here. So we see how it goes. Maybe even a better drop, or maybe a further drop to the downside before we see the spike to the upside, the rally that we've all been expecting. So keeping a close eye on that one. Pound CHF is another one that I really want to buy. Okay, I want to take a buy from. But the sellers, the bears are really taking a big chunk of this trade. Okay, they're taking it all the way down. And it seems like this is the only dollar currency that seems to be what? To be really taking this. It's taking a very serious beat right now. Every other currency, pound, pair, I think they're all taking a bit. So let's quickly run through all of them, slow and steady. This is USDCHF. I'm looking to take a short trade as well, but not until after I get a pullback. Okay, at least 50% Fibonacci pullback before I short USDCHF. Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, which is Aussie Kiwi. It's very weird to even pronounce Aussie Kiwi. That's very weird. That one is a little bit of a drama queen right now. But because of this accumulation right at the top here, I'm anticipating for a breakout trade. If I break below here, pull back nice and easy, and I will short. I will break above here, pull back nice and easy, and I will go long. But whatever happens, I'm very sure on Edge Finder something will pop up soon, and I'll see where to drive my entries at. Okay, Australian dollar, Aussie Swiss. Okay, Aussie Swiss looks very delicate right here. It's ranging. So if you are a big fan of intraday trading, now I want to possibly look for pullback, take a quick short, because this is just an impulsive move to the downside. No real candlestick right here. So I want to take a quick grab right here and wait for the market to come back inside this region and move back up before we start looking for buy opportunity all the way. But for me, I'm still holding up on Aussie Swiss right now. USZAR, okay, USZAR also looks quite decent to buy. Well, right now, I wouldn't suggest it. Okay, and if you're gonna buy, this is the plan to buy. Buying because of this particular trend line. So we have a flag pattern right here. So you can just give it a shot yourself. Okay, you can just what? You can just give it a shot. Probably right after I break above here, or maybe even right now. Okay, right there. If you're watching this video very early and the trade is still very, it hasn't violated. It's gonna be violated. You want to see it actually break the low there recently. The next one here is Euro Swiss. Okay, Euro Swiss also seems to be correcting very fast, very hard, which is not bad at all. So, am I going to take a buy right now? That will be determined by the candle that closed today and the next one that closed tomorrow. That will determine how I approach this if I want to take a buy. I'm going to take a buy right here. I want to see a morning star candlesticks that will lead me in. Don't forget, it's because of this morning star candle that I was waiting for on the 4 hours or on the daily time frame that kept me from jumping into pound CHF, CAD CHF, and all the CHF. Okay, don't forget that. So I'll be expecting the same thing right here before I jump into the trade. And it's not that much of a wild card. It's not a wild pair like that. It does a very decent pullback, okay, unless it's not ready to trend again. When it's trending, it pushes to the downside, push back, downside, push back, and then it ranges, and then probably the trend is pretty tight. Okay, so I would love to see the same thing like this, okay, like that, moving forward. So pound card also, I think this one also seems to be dropping down right now, but slowly. I would say right here it looks like maybe a counter trend trade. Okay, just a quick short trade on 1 hour time frame would be nice. Okay, that would be what I'll be looking for. So I'll be checking the pattern I even form at the top there. Maybe I can get a wedge pattern right there, a break of structure, break of trend line. That will probably take me in slow and steady. Okay, but right now I would say let's see how this goes. Pound kiwi, the same thing. Okay, same thing I'll be looking at, but the move at the top is not as deep and as wide as pound card. So I will probably forego this and consider taking pound card instead. All right. So that's another part of my stop setup. Euro kiwi also, yeah, I would definitely consider taking a counter trend on this one. The counter trend trade won't be bad. All right, possibly back to this region, but this will be taken on the 1 hour time frame or even the 30-minute time frame. All right. So that will be shared with my students, with my friends, definitely. Or I'm not sure how I can record it and share it on YouTube. It's going to be a long process. Euro Aussie, like I told you, I'm already shorting. I took a very nice short at the top here on Friday. So right now it seems to be doing very well. Let's see how this goes today. I still have high hopes that there's possibility that it's going to come all the way back down here. So Euro Aussie is very good for a short right now. Also, now this is not a financial advice. And everything that you're watching here shouldn't be construed or taken as financial advice. But this is something I'm already doing. This is something I'm trading. So let's see how that goes. You can see the last time it touched there, it came all the way back down. Okay, so that's another testament to the reason why I'm taking that trade. So and that you can only see that on a more deeper on the weekly part. On the weekly part. So pay close attention to the market when it's repeating itself. And euro dollar also maybe a counter trend trade, but better taken on the hourly time frame, especially if you can see it break below here. Okay, break below this region. Okay, definitely you can definitely see it come this region or probably come all the way down here. As far as the dollar is concerned, it's never gonna be like this forever. It's always pullback. Okay, but we don't know how heavy the pullback will be. Is it gonna be a massive, delicate pullback, or just gonna be a measly one that will probably get correct and move back up? All right, so you have to be careful with counter trend trade. I don't want to be greedy because you see all these gigantic moves to the upside. You're now thinking of buying Lambo with all the correction. All right, don't do that. All right, don't do that. Lastly, pound also seems to be dropping down very fast, very wide. So I guess that would be that. Okay, pound Aussie, I don't really have any plan on that one, but my eyes are on it. Okay, for a possible continuation of this bullish trend start. Okay, maybe it will come all the way down here, maybe even to this region. I'll consider taking a nice and decent buy opportunity moving forward. But right now, there's no set stone, and there's no set stone right now. Everything is still being built up. So I'm just gonna watch, wait, and see how I can possibly and join all of this trade without making so much of a mistake. All right. So I'll see you in the next one, possibly on Wednesday. Have a good day. Enjoy yourself. Don't get margin called. All right. And if you have any question, come to my DM, come make a comment, and just find a way to reach out to me. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day.